We Irish were the best slaves anyone ever fucking had. We held off the entire English Empire with 200 men and 40 rifles. We don't even need a kingdom to rule. I am a king everywhere I go. If I'm standing on land, that fucking land is mine. You know, it's kind of like when you're doing 1,000 sit-ups a day or a workout, it takes 17 minutes. Arnold and those guys were doing 2,000, so that's like what, a half hour, 40 minutes of sit-ups? That gives you a sense of pride over the me sitting here now who hasn't done it in a couple years. But I've accomplished more things than he has. I ride a skateboard and that guy couldn't. Level up as many different ways as you can. I still need to learn how to pick locks. Right now I would just use a, pneumatic punch. Hey guys, this is John in Los Angeles with the Alpha Channel update for Sunday, June 23rd, 2024. And today we have Conan the Barbarian 155. This one is very unique. This one I'm going to use as a bit of a test for myself because the plot and the art was done by John Buscema, while Michael Fleischer is credited as script. So this was drawn before it was written. And then it was handed off. There's no flashback in this book. You can see in the very beginning. So I'm going to use this book as a test for myself. I want to rewrite this book and see if I can do a better job. It's going to be a lot of work to take it apart. It's going to be a year-long or 2 or 3 years long project. But you can see what happens in the beginning. Conan meets these two girls who are arguing with each other about who saw him first, because that's what hot girls, do when they see Conan. And as he's flirting with them, this sort of thief runs by and runs into him. And bad guys come after. Conan is kind of pissed, but there's the guys chasing him, catch up with him, and Conan's like, well, have at it, I don't care. Until the main bad guy, and then Conan's girls run off because the goons, their boss, shows up and the girls don't want to even be seen by him. So Conan loses the girls that he was flirting with. Meanwhile, the boss is going to cut the guy's face off. Ends up just cutting his nose, which actually was a common punishment for thieves. This has some very uncharacteristic statements by a variety of characters in this comic. So I think it could be written a lot better. But the plot, in terms of the action, is magnificent. Oh, check it out. Here's this page. The layout and flow here is really good. But there's no flashback, and I want to see if I already missed it. Well, I guess I was wrong. Here's a bit of a flashback explaining how this merchant has been abusing the town and exploiting the townspeople. It's really sort of a narration. It's not so much of a flashback. There's a character explaining what's been going on. This guy with the cut nose, he's explaining who the Baron is, but I guess it qualifies as a flashback. So there's your obligatory flashback in issue 155. And we also get the obligatory sword throw. That's coming up. One thing I really did like on this John Buscema issue is the wizard looking through the crystal ball down here at the bottom. I really love how he rendered his face. He didn't distort the proportions so much. I suppose he could have done that more. He just, instead of using any line art, he used rendering where the lines would have been, and that's really kind of enough. So here is the Baron. He's pissed at his soldiers for not successfully subduing Conan, and Conan messed him up. Conan tosses him around here. Check this out. Full 360. And this Baron is not accustomed to being body slammed. The Baron's features are very, shall we say, Semitic. Looks like Herod. And some of these later ones, he really does look Jewish. That's the only way to say it. And his behavior, totally tyrannical Jew. Here we go. Check this out. Look at that guy. If that's not a Jew, I don't know what is. John Buscema was clearly an anti-Semite. He knew what we were going to be dealing with. So yeah, in this scene, the Baron sends his monster, his black magic golem, to murder one of his underlings for allowing Conan to escape. The other underlings carry the dead man off and go after Conan, and meanwhile the Jew plots and schemes at home in his easy chair. Conan is of course in the bar flirting with girls, and his homie is there. This is really cool. Check this out. Look at this panel here. If that is not Alison Blair, Dazzler, John Buscema, an X-Men girl. She pickpockets Conan, steals his coin purse while she's flirting with him, and the little weasel guy catches her and makes her give it back. You know, he reminds me of Tracy Walter in Conan the Destroyer, the guy who played in Repo Man, Bob from Batman. He's a really good character actor. He's actually best friends with Jack Nicholson, from what I understand. So here, Conan passes out on his bed while Tracy Walter sits outside the door just in case anything should happen, because Conan really is his meal ticket, and he could alert him if any sort of brigands show up. And of course they do, and it's a little too late for him. Even though Conan gets out there, you see his face down here, that's when they tell him we murdered him. But the script is a little strange. Michael Fleischer didn't go back. Rain is spelled wrong in one panel, and it's spelled right on the same page. So he obviously knew how to spell it. And this character, it claims that here's the sword throw. They say that they cut his throat, but later on he has some last words with Conan. And if they'd sliced his jugular or cut his windpipe, either of those, he wouldn't have had any time for any last words. They could have stabbed him. They could have, there's a lot of things they could have done. But here's these panels, I want to collect all the panels of Conan throwing a sword. I bet it would be a beautiful compilation on Instagram or something like that. Here is the final words I was telling you about. I'm trying to remember this guy's name. It's kind of weird and hard to pronounce. But he dies. Conan's pissed. And this is a great panel. This everyone starts telling each other what's going on. So the kid's been killed, Conan's killed all the goons, and now he's going up to the Baron's castle. He does not, or the Baron's manor. He does not care that he uses black magic and has monsters. He's going to go up there and get his revenge, and all the townspeople follow him. John Buscema is a great writer. Michael Fleischer is not a great. I think Michael Fleischer did this in one night. I don't think he reviewed it at all. I think he did it in a single pass. It's really amateur writing, but it's a great plot. It's a beautiful revenge plot. It's a decent Conan story all the way around. And so Conan gets up to the house. I love this panel right here. You can tell that that's a circular tower. I just love the central pillar. I would make that central column a lot bigger, more substantially, to be able to hold up the weight, but I love the circular stairwell. He took his time with that panel. That's a great panel. All of this is great. Conan's face, when he breaks in here, the face here. John Buscema's a master. I don't know how long this page took, but man. And here's the monster. Conan fights the monster, gives it what for, and just really incredible. So all the townspeople are outside. Conan corners the Baron/sorcerer wizard. Actually, the Baron locks himself in his room and is trying to read a new spell while Conan busts down the door. And Conan just backs him up to a window where he falls out. Did I give it away? I swear to God, as he falls out, I don't know if it's this one or I think there's another panel where a character falls down the stairs and I could just totally hear the Wilhelm scream in my mind. That's that famous scream from Star Wars and stuff. So Conan watches here. So here he falls out and he lives because the tower isn't so high up. And the townspeople murder him, this evil Baron. And you know what? This has happened a lot in history. This little group of people, this group of bankers, this international cabal of bankers who likes to enslave people, they've been run out of 1,047. They've been run out 1,047 times of 111 countries. I believe it was 109, but Yemen and Afghanistan have run them out recently. So, this is the one. This guy jumps at Conan down here, and then you get the Wilhelm scream. You guys should look it up. Once you know that it exists, you'll hear it in like every movie. And so yeah, I hope I'm gonna hold this back here again, just in case I held it out of frame. But this is a great Conan episode. It would be a great challenge to take out the word balloons and see what rewriting it would be like. This is Conan 155 by John Buscema. Larry Hama was the editor. Michael Fleischer did the script. And hey, maybe they had him stretched thin. Maybe I'm not giving him enough credit. Maybe he had a lot going on. Maybe his kids had, I don't know, the chicken pox that week or month or You know what? But this is what lasts. So the excuses don't last. You can't put the excuses in the letters page. You just can't do that. But I do have, this is awesome, the Three of Bows, the Wildwood Tarot, and the Hooded Man. Check out the mistletoe on his robe. I'm going to remind everyone of that every time I hold this up. This is the Three of Bows fulfillment. I love the red and white caduceus on her dress. This character is just beautiful. The tree behind her. The two bows in the foreground representing the two pillars. I talked about those when I first started this channel. Joachim and Boaz are basically considered the occult pillars, but I believe that the two pillars of old society used to be power and force. They quickly became necessity and convenience after Kennedy was shot, and now we're running on envy and spite. I wish that weren't the case. I wish we were running on, God, my personal two would be gratitude and forgiveness, but the two best for society, I believe, would be, well, truth and honor, or harmony and grace. Harmony and grace would be great ones. Those are my virtues. I'm using these virtues, the names of I have like 16 virtues that I'm using for the names of angels. Faith, hope, charity, grace, joy, harmony, constance, honor, melody. This is where I trip up. Prudence, glory, liberty, temperance, Althea, which is truth, and melody, liberty, Trinity, and then Valeria is the secret agent, number 16. And so I'm going to talk about these 8 alpha channel ideals every time until I get this really, really smooth. I'm going to go through them really quick. When you sit down to do good art, do it with a clear conscience. Do it with as little as or no money spent, with as few supplies as possible. Do it as simple as possible to make the good art. Use the virtues as values. Go to nature for inspiration. Do it with no agenda. And if you do those, for me, if I do those 6 things, you go to nature for inspiration and do it with no agenda, then the process is so enjoyable. I keep coming back to it. It's like doing my workouts. It's like doing this. I've done this every day now this is the 53rd, I believe. No, this is the 54th. So we have a deck of cards plus 2 jokers is the count. A couple days ago we had 52. If I had only done one of these a week, it would have taken a year to get to where I was in less than 2 months. So Gary V, you know what? I will give it up, even though he's Jewish and his family fled Russia with maybe ill-gotten gains and then opened a liquor store selling alcohol. So that's basically being a drug dealer. He's trying to make right for it now. I don't think that's, we Irish didn't do that. We Irish were the best slaves anyone ever fucking had. Because we're good at everything. We go there to live and take over without even a shot being fired. We held off the entire English Empire with 200 men and 40 rifles. Jews ain't got nothing on that. Nothing. We're straight power. You guys are wannabes. You guys are posers. You're tourists. We don't even need a kingdom to rule. I am a king everywhere I go. If I'm standing on land, that fucking land is mine. Come take it from me. Come knock me down and see what happens. I love being me. Everyone should try and get to this place in your life. If you can't get to here where you love being you, everything you say is false. You should have no opinion. Until I started this channel, I wasn't ready to do this. It's kind of like when you're doing 1,000 sit-ups a day or a workout. It takes 17 minutes. Arnold and those guys were doing 2,000, so that's like what, a half hour, 40 minutes of sit-ups. When you're doing that, and you can walk around with a certain amount of pride, right? Like right now I know I can do that if I want to. I can go do 1,000 crunches. I don't have to do it. But when you're doing it, that gives you a sense of pride over the me sitting here now who hasn't done it in a couple years. You know what I mean? Like that guy is more proud than I am. But I've accomplished more things than he has. I ride a skateboard and that guy couldn't. So, you should level up. Level up as many different ways as you can. I still need to learn how to pick locks. Right now I would just use a, pneumatic punch. Cormac McCarthy, you guys should read Cormac McCarthy's books. I think I read his entire catalog. He, what's so fascinating about Cormac McCarthy as a writer is he threw away punctuation. Because in a lot of ways, this is a very occult philosophy. There are no secrets, and that your thoughts' telepathy is real, And all you have to do is be a dog lover to know that telepathy is real. A dog or a cat can tell you what they're thinking without, just their expression. That's why they say 67% of communication is body language. That's why I knew when I started this channel I wasn't going to hide behind a mask or an avatar. If I was going to come out and say fuck the Jews, I was going to have to come out and say it as John Carrick. So yeah, that's where we're at. Boycott, divest, sanction, and do your own work. Let's replace this false culture they're trying to impose on us, this saccharine, poisonous culture. They poison wells, they poison vaccines, they poison medicine. Now they want to put where they have poisoned our culture. Take it back. Help me. Do the big lift. If we build it, they will come. And so yeah, feel the dreams. Read The Robe. One of the best books ever written. You should all know this book inside and out. This should be, I would love to fund an illustrated version of this if I were a better artist. Maybe selected scenes, There is an illustrated version of this, but it's really a painted version. I would mean a comic book version. I would love to do a Conan the Barbarian level comic book version of this. It would be perfect. Marcellus is totally a Conan character, and so is Demetrius. They're both fucking way alpha. You guys should read this book. It's awesome. Ninja Bible, Anthony Cummins. And check out my comic on ashleyfox.ninja. This is how Ashley becomes a Valkyrie, long after her 2 novels that are on YouTube as audiobooks. This is the story of how Ashley meets Valeria, one of Odin's Valkyrie, and she recruits her to fight in Ragnarok, the end of the world, which is an upcoming volume for the comic book and video games that I'm working on. And check out alphachannel.games. You can drop us your email address for our upcoming game called Race War, which is going to be an anti-gravity racing game. Don't get your hopes up for that other kind of stuff. It'll get there eventually, but we have a lot of hurdles to jump between here and there. So, all right, hope you guys are having a great Sunday. Hope you got to spend time with family and your life is awesome. I hope so. I'm having such a good time. I feel survivor's guilt for everyone who went through the Hollywood industry and what's been put on us for the last 20, 30 years. If you left, if you got burnt out, if they destroyed you, they wrecked you, if you got Me Too'd, if you got ran out of the industry and sent back home to where you used to live, man, it sucks. That almost happened to me. I almost gave up too, but I'm not giving up. They're gonna nuke this town, or I'm gonna take over. And you guys are gonna help me, and you're all coming along for the ride. All right, talk to you in a while. Bye.